What's up, everybody? Michael Johnson here with Backstage Choreo Live, and I'm excited to be here today because I've taken a bit of a hiatus and a little bit of time off in this first couple of weeks. So it's been a little while since we've done a live, and I've been excited to jump back in and share with you some of the cool things that we've been working on and some cool things that I think you're going to want to know. Today, as you could probably see in the description, we are going to work on building a full system. We have talked a bunch of times now on Backstage Choreo Live. You can go back and check out some of the others, but we've talked a lot about the individual pieces and parts of different systems. So we've touched on some different frameworks, the E7S framework. We've talked about the M4S framework. The E7S framework is the essential 7 business frameworks, the ones that you need in your business. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need all of the systems. Now, what I thought we'd start to go into at this stage is building out full or more complete systems. I'm not going to say the full system because systems tend to need to attach to other systems. So we're going to build out a pretty complete system, and I'm excited to share this with you because this is becoming more and more important for you to know how to do. And why would you go and get it somewhere else when I'm going to give it to you on a silver platter? Now, I implore you to pay attention because you would normally have to go pay for this. So let me just give it to you on a silver platter and beg that you're going to go and use it. Please use it. Took me years to learn, took me years to get all this information together for you so that I could just hand it over and give it to you so you could go and do it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to work today on what I call virtual event choreography. So we're going to build a virtual event system, essentially. Now, what do I mean by virtual event? Here's what I mean. If you're going to be having the event online, okay, that's it. And if it is on a specific date, then this is going to be for you. And if you are going to invite people to it and have them register and sign up, then this is going to be for you. Now, this could be for a 1-day event. This could be for a 2-day event. This could be for a 3-day or 5-day event. Heck, if you're wild and crazy, you could even do something like I did once, which was a 30-day event. We went live every day for 30 days. How crazy is that? People don't do that much anymore. But times have changed, and that's okay. We're going to kind of go towards the route of this being a 1, a 3, maybe a 5-day event. I don't see as many 5-day events as I used to. The most typical and agreed upon amount of time is about 3 days. You could do a 1-day or 3-day, and those are pretty common. Does that mean 2 days is completely unheard of? No, you do you. You might have some secret sauce that says 2 days is better than 3, or 4 days is better than 3, or better than 5. You decide, and that's okay. But the system that I want to share with you today and build out with you live, we're going to just do it together, is one that I've built so many iterations of over the years. We've built it for ourselves. We've built it for other people. I know this works. This absolutely works. Now, what I can't promise you is that your offer's any good. Okay, that's a different conversation altogether. That would be in the positioning systems and a conversation in that regards. So I can't promise you that it will work with your offer because your offer might suck, and that's okay. Like I said, that's another conversation. I also can't promise you that you won't mess it up. Okay, but this is going to give you a pretty good blueprint to not mess it up. All right, so let's jump in and let's start building this. This is no small system. In fact, I love drawing these out. And so I have a notebook and I draw these out, and I have pages and pages of different systems that I really enjoy it. I'm a bit of a of a systems nerd, I guess, and I enjoy doing this. So you'll just have to hang on tight with me as we go through and build this out together. Now, you'll for sure want to save this or share it or whatever. If you know somebody's about to do a virtual event, share it with them so that maybe they can, save a little money and not have to pay some guy for doing this and them not know what's going on. This is going to help, okay? So let's build this event together and let's have some fun. So let's get to the systems choreography board. If you've been hanging out with me, you know what this is about. So we're gonna jump in here and get into a place where we can build together. So this is a board that I've made to make my life easier while creating systems, okay? So I've got some nice shortcuts in here. And as you can see, we've done some together. We've built some fun things together along the way. And we've talked about some general cool systems that we've built. And so, like I said, go back and watch some of those other lives and you can catch up on some of the basic systems. All the green or turquoise here are all the E7S systems. All right. So virtual event systems. Let's grab a tag here. We're just gonna bring that down here and we're gonna just paste that here. And let's go ahead and just call a duck, right? So virtual event system. Okay, cool. Now let's make that bigger. We'll just kind of put this up top here and we're going to jump in and start to build around this. So what types of things do we know we need? Think of it this way. You wouldn't go and build a skyscraper without having a blueprint, right? But so many times have I seen you business owners out there decide, oh, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to run an event. And you just start building. Now, think about how crazy that would be if you were building a skyscraper, something that was any kind of building for that matter. Think of it as your house. If you just started building, I think I'm just going to start building my house. In fact, I drive on my way to the golf course that I love to play at. There's a house and I swear this is what they've done. Every time I drive by, I think, gosh, that thing is never going to finish, because every time I drive by that house, it's like they're still doing something. It's like they're building one wall at a time. And it's almost like they're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. Right. And that's not what we're going to do here. So we're going to try to map this out so that it's something that you can start to utilize and follow. And so no matter what, you want to save this, because even if you're not planning on doing a virtual event right now, you're going to want to come back to this later so that you can go, okay, here are all the pieces. At least I have the blueprint, and then you can manipulate it according to your event, because there are going to be some things that you're going to have to make choices on along the way. And that's totally fine. Okay, so what are we going to do first? Well, the first thing we want to signify here is we want to signify the fact that we are aware, okay? We're fully aware that we need to get noise. Now I call this noise, right? These little bubbles. And the reason I call it the little bubbles noise is because this is all the different channels or ways that you can make noise about your event. Could be an email list, could be Facebook advertising, could be collaborations, could be hiring influencers, it could be social media, you could be dancing on TikTok, bringing down the house, right? Now, I don't care what it is that you're going to do, but you want to have a pretty good idea. And now there are lots of systems that could actually fit within this part, the noise making part, but a lot of people don't think about the noise. And I want you to make sure you always have this at the beginning of your systems, because it would be negligent, and I know because I have done it, to think I'm going to run this virtual event and not put any thought at all into what noise am I going to make? How am I going to get people to my thing? I see it so often. I'm going to run a webinar. Great. How are you going to get people there? I'm going to run a virtual event like we're going to plan today. Great. How are you going to get people there? I'm going to do an in-person networking meeting. Okay. How are you going to get people there? And for some of you, you're great networkers. For some of you, you love advertising or you like doing paid advertising. Awesome. Maybe you have a favorite agency that you use to pay to do your ads. Awesome. Maybe you have somebody doing your ads and they suck and you need somebody new. Awesome. But that's how you're going to get leads. Maybe you're doing scraping Instagram and sending messages out. Maybe you're doing like one-to-one prospecting. All of it works. There are so many different ways to do it. You have to find a way that's going to work for you and maybe even have multiple. That's why I like these little bubbles. And sometimes I even encase these little bubbles in a circle over here. So we're just going to put that circle around it and we're just going to leave it as good. Now we're not going to dig into that portion of it, because I want to get into what the actual virtual system is all about here, not just how you're going to get people there. And that is so specific to each of you. Each of you have a very particular way that you like to do, and you have ways that you're like, nah, not touching it with the 10-foot pole. I'm just not going to do it. And that's cool. So we're not going to get into that right now. So what happens next? Well, okay, depending on how you're going to get people there, that will determine some of the next stages. However, we're going to take on one particular approach, which I just don't think you can ignore. We're going to say, hey, one of these bubbles is probably your list. And if you've been in business, I hope you've been building a list. If you haven't been building a list, we really need to talk, right? Because no matter what business you're in, I don't care if you're running a pizza parlor or if you're running a handyman business or if you're running a law firm or if you're running an agency, I don't care what you're doing. You better be building a list. And it could be a list of your current clients. It could be a list of your past clients. It could be whatever it is. You've got to be building a list. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is getting together an email sequence. Now, what's this first email sequence for? So we're going to put this on the blueprint. We're going to say this first email sequence is a promo email sequence. Pretty easy, right? So we're going to just label that here and we're just going to say promo sequence. Now, it would be nice just to say promo sequence. This could be a lot of different amounts of emails. Are you giving yourself a 2-week lead in? Are you giving yourself a 3-day lead in? I don't suggest that. How much lead in are you going to do? Now, based on the lead in that you're going to have, you're going to need an automation to run this, because heaven forbid you're sending out these emails one at a time. Please don't do that. Okay. That's just a bad idea. So we're going to put in here some amount of a promo sequence. Now, I would say a good amount is. So I'm going to just kind of stick my flag in the sand and say you at least need to have a couple weeks to promote your thing. You could start earlier than that. Beware, because the earlier you start, the harder it is to get people to remember to show up to the thing they signed up for a month ago. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, that's a good amount because it still stays present and you can keep them engaged. Now, you have a promo sequence here, and let's say that it's let's say 2 weeks, right? So we're just going to say a 2-week promotional email sequence. Now, how many emails is that, Michael? Tell me exactly how many emails. I think it needs to be the right amount of emails. What's the right amount of emails? I don't know, one every other day. And here's the thing, you're going to have pieces of this system trigger so when they sign up, they get out of the promo sequence. So let's not get crazy. We are in the modern day era of tech. And if somebody signs up for your thing that they're going to sign up for, their event, then we're going to pull them out of the promo sequence. Why? Because that's the right thing to do. Right? Now, what happens when we pull them out of the reminder sequence? Well, we're going to take all of this and we're just going to copy that again, and we're going to put it right here. And we're going to do this again. Why? But because this time we're going to call it a reminder sequence. All right, well, that's easy. Some of these, I want you to stop and think, like if I would have really sat down, could I have done it? Yeah, you probably could have. But it's hard when you haven't done it before, and it's a lot easier when you've run hundreds of these. So some of this might be like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Right, and it should, and I hope it does, because I hope that some of it is making you go, okay, yeah, great. But this will help you be confident that you're not running something that isn't normal. So what's the reminder sequence? Well, the reminder sequence is going to be something along the lines of, hey, you signed up for this thing, and we want to remind you over and over and over again that you should show up. I know, rocket science, right? And you might think to yourself, gosh, that's silly. Why would I do that? I don't want to bug them. I mean, the number of times I've heard this in my life, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to be annoying. Well, guess what? Life happens. And if you don't remind people to show up to your thing that they wanted to come to, then they'll forget and they'll come back and go, do you have a replay? And that's another question altogether. So what would we do? Again, we're going to set up somewhere in that 2 weeks. So if that first sequence was a 2-week sequence, then the second week is going to be a reminder sequence that is going to kick in at a prescribed time. So what would we do? Well, we might want to do a reminder 1 week before. We might want to do one 3 weeks before. We might want, 1 week before, 3 days before, 1 day before, the morning of, and we're starting right now. Let's go. So that's my prescribed one. Can you do more? Yes, you can. So let's put this here. So we got 1 week, we've got 3 days, we've got 1 day, we've got morning of, we've got starting now. And this, I promise you, is not overkill. It's not even remotely close to overkill. You will be surprised. Some people are like, oh man, I didn't see any of your emails, but I'm glad I got the morning of email because I had all these other things planned and I was going to miss it. I really wanted to come, right? So this is pretty standard. Can you do more than that? Yes. Can you do less than that? I don't recommend it, but you could do it. You're your own person. You do you, right? That's what the kids all say. You do you. Why is the promo sequence less defined? Well, because the promo sequence, you might say, okay, I'm going to do 2 weeks of promotion and I'm going to send one every day because your list is used to you talking to them every day. Okay, maybe your list isn't used to that. Maybe you're going to send one every other day. Maybe you're going to send 2 on the first day, and then you're going to wait 2 days and send 1, and then you're going to wait 2 days and send 2. You can change that up however you'd like, and I can't tell you what the best case scenario is because it's your list. You know them and you know how they respond. Are they totally cold? Are they seriously warm and they love to hear from you? You make the decision and write the email sequence. What's the best way to write these email sequences? Now with AI, super easy. It's turn on your AI, click the dictate button, talk out loud and say, this is what I want. I need 2 weeks worth of emails. I'm going to send one every day at the same time. And I'm going to promote this virtual event. Here's what the virtual event is about. Here are the primary things that they're going to get out of it. Here's why they should come. Here is what this is all about. Can you please write me this promo sequence with this many emails? And it will take your words and write the sequence for you, and then you can edit it from there. It's not hard. You can do that, and it is so much faster than it used to be, right? Because you used to have to actually write all of them out. And that took a little bit more time. Now, AI can take your words and put it in, and make sure you tell it to use your words, because more and more people are starting to get less okay with AI doing it all. They want to hear from you. They love you. That's why I'm doing these lives, because isn't it more fun to hear from me than to just hear it from a prescribed AI thing? Who knows? I mean, because AI wouldn't know to do this randomly. Like, is his beard real? Yep, it's real. Is he really bald? Yep, he's really bald, right? Whatever the case may be, right? So go and use that tool to help speed up getting your ideas and the stuff that's original out of your head. I love that idea. Now, let's keep going here, because we've got a lot to build. So we're going to take this, we're going to go like this, and we're going to push this down here like this. We're going to make this come over here, and we're going to make another one, and we're going to pull this over here like this, and we're going to get this one ready to go, because again, we like systems. Now we're talking about, and we have some more over here we're gonna talk about in just a second. Actually, no, let's talk about it now. I'll just set those up for later. So we're gonna take these, actually let's take all of this, and we're just gonna copy that, and we're gonna do it again. Isn't that nice to have a board that we can kind of play on, right? So now we're going to create this. We're gonna do a deadline sequence. So what's a deadline sequence, Michael? A deadline sequence is really cool. That is, hey, this offer is going to end. What offer, Michael? Well, the offer that we're going to put in our event that we're about to do. So it's here, it's ready to go. And this deadline sequence, this again, is going to probably be prescribed based off of your thing, right? And I can give you a general idea here. The deadline sequence is oftentimes, let's say you ran an event on Thursday. And let's say you went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because it was a 3-day event. This is pretty common. 3-day events. You might have even been to one, right? And on that 3-day event, you pitched an offer on the 2nd day, and then you reiterated it on the 3rd day, so they had some more time to purchase that offer. Now, on the end of that day, or the 3rd day, because you went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then on Sunday, you would say, hey, the cart's going to close on Sunday, because we're only going to take this many people. So you have until Sunday night. So in that case, the deadline sequence might be right after the event ends. You might have email 1. I'm going to put email 1 instead of days now, because this is important, right? We're going to say email 1 right after the event. Thank you so much for coming. Here's a recap of what we did, and here's how you get to the offer. Awesome. Day 2, email 2 might go in the morning, which is pretty cool. So this might go morning email, and that might go, hey, just wanted to recap a little bit about what we did in the 3 days so that you can remember. Okay. And then you go email 3. And where would email 3 go? Potentially in the evening of that day. So this, what day is this? This is Sunday in this particular scenario. Then we go, and what would be in that email? You would go back and you'd say, hey, just in case you forgot, or maybe you saw the replay, here's what was in the offer. And it's going to end. Okay. Now, Actually, let's do that one as afternoon. We'll do afternoon. And then we'll go email 4. And we will do evening. And in the evening email, you go, hey, cart closes in a couple hours. As soon as the clock strikes midnight, turns back to a pumpkin, right? And then it's over and you missed out. So it's the FOMO email. If you're ever in doubt and you're not sure how to structure your copy or your sequences, just remember the ELF framework. The ELF framework is easy. You can always remember it. It's always good to have an ELF, right? An ELF, and that stands for emotion, logic, FOMO. That's the ELF framework, emotion, logic, FOMO. Now, if you use the ELF framework, then this first email is, thanks for coming. Here's the link. Go buy the offer. It's just a quick reminder. Then the morning of, or the next morning, since the cart's going to close the next day, if that's how you would do it, then you might say, hey, here's a recap of everything we did. Oh, and by the way, here's the link to the offer. Afternoon, just like we said, you might go, hey, here are all the benefits of doing this and that and that and this and blah, blah, and here's the link to the offer. And the evening, hey, last call, offer closes tonight. Okay. Now, this is one way of doing it. Is it the only way? No. Is it the best way? I don't know your audience. I don't know your offer. I don't know what your people like, what your people hate. I don't know enough about your people to say if this is the best one, but you do. So I want you to think about that, right? Do you need to close your offer on Monday night instead of Sunday night? You need to give them 2 days, right? What do you need to do so that it's best for your people? And that's really, I mean, if you got nothing out of this whole live today, do what's best for your people. If they were just annoyed that you were making them buy something on Sunday, oh, I can't believe you, then don't do it. Do something else. Make it a value add. 1 or 2 emails that are a value add on Sunday, and then on Monday go back and say, hey, the cart closes tonight. That's totally cool. And you are totally allowed to do it because you own the business. So you get to decide. But this is a good structure, and this will be at least some good guardrails for you. Okay, so now let's take this and let's fill in the blanks, because obviously I jumped from promo to reminder to deadline sequence with an offer. Wait a second, how did we get there? Well, we've got to go back. So what does the promo sequence do? The promo sequence is all pointing towards what you would expect, which is a registration page. Yay! Okay, so we're not going to grab this one here. That's our funnel, or sorry, that's our funnel page. Actually, we're going to go like this. We're going to just grab a basic one here, and we're going to make this bigger, and we're going to just grab this little guy, and we're going to, oh, whoa. Houston, call the tech team. Everything's breaking. Okay. It's there. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I just didn't grab it well enough. I'm going to undo. Come on, undo. There it is. Copy, paste. Okay. Jiminy Christmas. What the heck happened there? Copy and paste. Yeah, now you know we're live because AI wouldn't do that. Okay, so we're gonna make this our opt-in page, right? The registration page, because the promo sequence's job is just to get them to register. That's it. So what do you need on that page? Minimum amount of effort, right? Whatever you can do to get them to register right away. So we're going to get their name and their email. What do you need on that page? Again, don't forget ELF, right? That's your framework. You need a headline. The headline needs to be emotional and needs to have a sub headline that is also emotional. And if you really feel the need to put a whole bunch more on this page, which I don't suggest, then maybe put some bullet points of the benefits and features that are in relationship to what they get. A quick little tip on how to do that. Use the words "so you can." We're going to make this page, and if you feel like you have to put some bullet points on that page, which they help if you do them right, they also hurt if you do them wrong. But good bullet points, you can almost accidentally have good bullet points, almost, if you use the words "so you can." So you say, whatever it is, so you can, and finish the sentence. So you say, here's this event. It's going to give you this, so you can this. This is a great way to do some bullet points, okay? So all of this right here, this is your, where's my group? Oh, there it is, grouping. This is your opt-in page, your registration page. You could even put a video there. If you can muster the strength, I know some of you don't like video, but if you can muster the strength, a good video there could work great, right? Just introduce yourself, say this is what this event is for, this is what I'm going to promise you, make your big bold promise, and tell them to show up. And if they show up, then your video did the right thing. If they register, then your video did the right thing, right? But your main goal, right, and that's why we're going to keep this super simple, is to get their name and their email, and they sign up. And when they sign up, what does this do? This little guy right here, oops, just want to click on this. This little guy goes to here, and it reminds them, it dumps them in the reminder sequence. Well, but Michael, what if they sign up and there's only 3 days before? Well, don't worry, because if you're using a cool system like our software, Choreo Suite, then it will automatically skip all the previous emails that were reminders, and it'll only send them the ones that are appropriate. So if they're signing up 3 days before, then they'll only send them the one day in the morning of, and the starting now. But you'd have to use a cool system like Choreo Suite. If you don't have that, let me know. We can help. So that's easy, right? Now, what happens with this? Well, we would be negligent here if we didn't recognize that we needed an automation down here. What's the automation do? The automation has some responsibilities. We're going to just take this and cheat. We're going to put this right here. Bang. That's nice. And we're going to say, what does the automation do? It does this. We're going to tag them. Why? Because in the future, we want to know who they are and how they got into our world, so we don't send them stuff that isn't appropriate, and so that we can do other stuff with them in our list. The next thing we want to do is send an internal email. Why? Because the team needs to know, whether you're a solopreneur or whether you are a team of people, the team needs to know somebody signed up. So I usually do an internal email, something to just say, hey, somebody signed up, because that's cool. And it's fun to see when people sign up for your stuff. Okay. Next, you're going to send them a confirmation email. And that might be connected to the reminder sequence, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's nice just to keep your systems nice and clean and clear. Okay. And then after that, could you send them some more stuff? Yes, you could. Right? Sometimes people do things like I've heard it called an indoctrination sequence. Okay. I like to call them a consumption sequence. What's the consumption sequence? It's letting them know why it's important for them to come. Now, what's the difference between that and the reminder sequence? Well, you have to decide. Depending on your audience, depending on the event, you may skip the consumption sequence. And that's a big, you have to decide. Maybe you're going to combine the consumption sequence with the reminder sequence. That is common. And so I want you to kind of give that a thought is, hey, maybe I should combine those two things. But any way you look at it, that has to exist, something to remind them, something to tell them about, you just signed up for this thing. So I'm reminding you that you signed up for this thing. I can't tell you how many times, I know this is like the broken record today, that saying, can't tell you how many times somebody has messaged us back and said, what is this? What is this thing that you're sending me emails about? We're like, read the emails. You signed up for it. Oh, I totally forgot. And they just didn't read the email. They were more than willing to send a text or an email back to us, but they weren't willing to read the email. That happens a lot. You'd be amazed at the things that I've seen. Oh, the troubles I've seen. Okay, I'll try not to sing too much. That's part of the troubles I've seen, is my singing. So we've got a confirmation email, and here's the thing. That confirmation email has to be a thing. So I'm saying the consumption sequence, maybe, maybe not, but that has to be a thing. Now, here's the next part. If we do this, we're going to copy this, we're going to put it here, we're going to shrink it just a little bit, just so that you know it's slightly different. And we're going to take this here, and we're going to show that this goes from here to here. And here we have our thank you page. Now, please, for the love of all business systems holy, when people sign up for your stuff, send them to a thank you page and give them a confirmation email. There's nothing worse, I think, there's nothing worse than a business not confirming that you just made a purchase with them. Oh, I recently switched my health insurance to a new health insurance company. I was dying at the poor systems they have in place and what they were doing on the back end that isn't okay in business. And one of the things that they were doing was they have no confirmation, and you could pay them money and there's no response. Crickets. There's no thanks for paying. There's no page after you pay. How weird is that? You pay and then nothing happens. They didn't say thank you for paying. They didn't say here's a receipt. They didn't say anything. Did I get an email? Nothing. A couple of days later, I thought this is weird. I better call customer support. Oh yeah, we see you paid in the system. Why didn't you tell me? Well, what they were doing was incidentally, they were making it so that they had to pay more for their customer support to have to deal with that than if they would have just sent an email and or had a thank you page where they could have probably, if they were really wild and crazy, upsold me on something I don't need, which some companies are really great at, some companies suck at, but you guys have experienced it and you know what I'm talking about. So they get the thank you email. And what's the thank you email need to have on it? It needs to have next steps. One of my old mentors says he has the 10 commandments of marketing. And one of them is there shall be clear instructions. There shall be clear instructions. And this is a problem for businesses. I don't know why, but businesses like to not have clear instructions. You are not allowed. I'm now making it official. You're not allowed to not give your people clear instructions. Please just don't do it. You got to put the next steps here. Now, the same next steps on your thank you page could also be in the confirmation email. In fact, the first next steps that I love to do, and you can take it or leave it, but the first next steps I love is check your email, because everything you need is going to be in that email, and we're going to send you reminders so you don't forget, and we're going to tell you all sorts of cool things in your email. So check your email, make sure it's in the inbox and not in spam. Why? Because I don't care how cool you are and how great you are, unless you're some company that's selling, I can get your emails in the inbox, which they kind of can and mostly can. But here's the thing. Give them next steps. Why? Because you need them to get used to checking their email and going and finding out what's going on. You want them to go to your email. You want them to find it in the spam or the promotions. You want them to get used to the fact that, hey, I signed up for this thing. I should go look for this. And you should have their next steps in here and here. Now, I almost always make the first next step, check your email. The second next step might be appropriate to your thing. And that's cool. Don't give them too many steps. I saw this one thank you page and email because they did exactly what I told them. I got it back and it was a freaking novel. You needed like a magnifying glass and you needed to be like Sherlock Holmes to figure it out. I was like, you have like 10 steps here and they're like massively important 10 steps. We got to break this down. What's most important first? And then we'll put it in the remainder of the reminder sequence emails so that they can get the rest of them. But don't do it here. Like they're excited. They just signed up. Like give them one or two things to do and tell them to talk to them tomorrow. And that's a great thing. Okay. Now, what's next? We're moving right along. This system's coming together. You can see it coming together now, right? So now what we're going to do, let's copy this. Oh, there it is. Copy, paste. Love this. We're going to just make this go like this just a little so that it doesn't look like they're part of each other. And we're going to do this again. What are we going to do? We're going to make a event page. I should make that arrow smaller. We're going to go like this. And we're going to go here and then we're going to go like this. Oh, we should ungroup that. Okay. Now we're going to go like this and we're going to make an event page. Now, this could be done so many different ways, depending on what you're using, right? If you're using Choreo Suite, you could do this inside your own private community that you could build inside Choreo Suite. If you're doing it inside a Facebook group, you could do it there if you have to. I used to do that. Now Facebook groups kind of suck, but that's okay. We won't talk about that too much. And, but you could also do it on a page, on a funnel landing page and have the event show up there. You could stream to it. Right now I'm streaming here. I'm also streaming into my group in my private community called Systems for Experts. You should come join. It's free, right? So if you wanted to, you could stream it into a community that you had connection to, or you could stream it onto a page. And I've done that before too. It's not hard. You have a funnel page. You put the thing there so that it can talk, and then the systems talk to each other. Isn't the tech cool? That's pretty neat, right? And then you can stream right onto your page, and you can do that. Or you could just literally give them a Zoom link, and so you might not have an event page, right? But you have to kind of think about this in all the different ways that you could do it. So we're going to actually remove this here like this. And we're going to take that and make that smaller because that goes up here like this. Let's just use this one. Okay. We're going to copy and paste that. We're going to go over here like this. And now we're going to talk about what we could do, because I don't want to leave you hanging here. So we're going to go, we could put this in a Zoom room. We could put this in a community. We could put this in a group, which kind of are the same thing, but maybe slightly different. You could live and in person, right? Like at an actual location. I know that's crazy talk, right? We could actually like meet face to face. How cool would that be? Okay. And we could do a stream to somewhere. And that's cool too, right? So you have some pretty cool ways that you could go about doing your event. Now, remember, it's virtual. So, I said live and in person. It kind of messes up the virtual thing, but as you can tell, this still works. The problem with in person I say problem as if it's a problem. It's not really a problem. But the thing about in person is that all this stuff still applies, and you have to create the in-person event so that it actually works. I mean, there's nothing worse than, and you guys have experienced this, there's nothing worse than showing up to an event in person and the person organizing it has no control over the people. They don't have any sort of people skills to move people, and they don't know what to do to help everybody know and understand what's going on. Oh, it's the worst, right? That's why it's worthwhile, if you're not a good person, a good people mover, to hire somebody that is a host of some sort that can help people when they come in. This is what we're going to do. Pass it on. This is where we're going to go. This is how we're going to do these things, and move people, right? If you don't have somebody like that and you're not that person, you need to have somebody like that if you're doing it in person. Okay, so we get the idea, the event page, right? And this, again, could be any of these things. It could also, and we'll just finish this off with one more virtual, right? It could be a funnel page. And I say funnel page / landing page, right? Because really funnels are just landing pages. So let's call a duck, right? Funnel pages, fancy for landing page that does a specific thing. Okay, cool. Well, we're all good with that. Now, from that, we have a couple things that we have to think about. One of them is, we're going to take this and we're going to paste that here. We're going to make that a little smaller. One of those things, I should say, is that this guy right here is going to go. Oh no, I had it in the right place. Gosh darn it. There we go. So it's going to point to the deadline sequence. Why? Because the other thing that's going to happen right here is we are going to have an offer. Now, there are some occasions where you're not going to make an offer at your event. That's totally cool. If you have a good reason for it, I'm down. If you have a bad reason for it, I'm not down. So please don't do it if you don't have a good reason. So we're going to do this. We're going to put this over here. We're going to make this a little smaller, and we're going to make ourselves a nice little order form. Why? Because you need to make an offer. Highly recommended. We're going to put this here. We're going to make this nice and big. That's our offer symbol, right? The little diamond with money in it. I couldn't get any more obvious that it's an offer, right? But you need an offer. And this, again, this is one of those like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad when I hear that somebody's running an event and I say, well, what's the offer? They say, what do you mean? I say, well, what's the offer? It can be a free offer. It could be a paid offer. It could be an implied offer. It could be an inferred offer. There's a lot of different ways you can offer something. I went to a networking event, and it was very clear at the networking event that they were hosting it and doing it because they wanted to let you know that they had a co-working space to be at. That's awesome. And the offer was kind of implied / inferred. However, they're going through the work to get everybody there. They should have had a special offering for all of us that were there. What could it have been? Oh, I don't know. Come and use our place for free one time with this coupon. What's it going to hurt? Right? It's going to get somebody used to going there and utilizing their space and wanting to have more time in their space. There's lots of cool free offers that you can do that are essentially loss leaders, but could actually benefit you long term. All right, so here's where we do the offer. That's pretty cool. And here's the thing. Now, there's a little baby thing that you could do here. Not baby. That made it sound bad. I don't mean it to sound bad, but little small thing. That's probably a better word, right? So you could come in here like this, and in the deadline sequence, you could actually point to and potentially have a replay. So we're going to take this, copy this here like this. We're going to put this over here, and we're going to say, hey, maybe you'd want to do a replay. And a lot of people do, a lot of people don't. It's hard to get people to show up often, right? If they know there's a replay, because sometimes they're just going to go, okay, we're just going to go see the replay. We're not going to go to the live thing, right? We're just going to go to the replay. And that's cool, but replays are cool. So we're going to put a replay here. And if you wanted to do a replay, then you could make a page for the replay. I would say that's kind of optional, right? But it's kind of a cool thing to do. Maybe it depends whether you need to give your people some incentive to actually show up live, in which case you don't have replays. I've actually done it both ways, where you have replays, where you don't have replays. It's kind of cool, right? So it's really just dependent on your scenario, your people, what's going on with what you're doing, right? So this is a kind of use at your discretion, right? Whether the replay is something you want to do or whether it's not. I've seen people have like a 3-day event and go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they do a whole round of promotions and extra bonuses and stuff through the week. So they go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they close the card on the following Sunday, and they have the replay up during the week in case you missed it. And so they just drag it out, right? And that could be appropriate for your thing and for your audience, or it could just keep them from deciding to sign up, right? Now, over here, past the offer, again, we're just going to do this. We're going to go copy, we're going to go paste, and we're going to come over here like this, and we're going to have our thank you, right? Because you're getting the idea, right? There will always be that, right? So we're always saying, okay, this is what's happening next, and you don't want to leave your people in the cold, right? And if I take this over here, we're just going to do this again. We're just going to copy that. Why? Because this little mini system here is, let's see, copy, paste. Oh, there we go. So we got that little mini system. Actually, I'm going to put that over here for just a moment. We're going to make this all a little smaller. What do you think? All a little bit smaller, still all kind of works, right? And then we're going to take this just like that, and we're going to put that right there, because this is basically doing the same thing again, right? If they get the offer, we want to tag them. We want to send an internal email. We want a confirmation email. Why? Because it's cool to let your people know what it is that they're going to get next after they've paid you. And then a consumption sequence here is super valuable, right? Because that consumption sequence is going to let them know the next steps: onboarding, a call, group lessons are at this time. This is how you get your information. This is how you do what you do. And that's what we want, right? We want to make sure that they know exactly what's going on. Okay, so that's easy. We got our thank you. We got all our regular stuff there, and we've got our consumption sequence. Now, this is where we start to lead into other systems, and of course, we have other systems up here. But this is a pretty cool sequence. I know there's a lot of like things you have to decide on and decide how you'd like it to be in your world, but this works. This works. I've run it, I don't know, hundreds of times. I've seen it run hundreds of times. I modeled it off of the greats. I've helped people run it hundreds of times, right? Not only have I done it myself, but I've helped other people do it. This works. Guys, if you're going to run a virtual event, these are all the major pieces. Now, are there some other particular pieces or offshoot pieces that you might want to do or use or put together? Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing about systems, is that you don't want to say any of them are end all, because when you get somebody really great at systems looking at your system, they go, hey, do you ever think about doing this? And you're like, wow, that could earn me hundreds of thousands of dollars more, and I didn't think of that. So this gives you the basic layout of what you need to do. Now, if you are looking at this and going, where in the heck would I build this? Come join us at Choreo Suite. It's pretty cool. You can check it out at choreosuite.com. And, you know, we use it to build everything we do. Our clients use it to build all their stuff because they love Choreo Suite. It can build all this stuff with you, not for you, with you. And so it's a cool place to be. Now, that being said, if you just want to learn and keep learning more about systems, come join us at systemsforexperts.com. And it's a free community for experts like you. And the reason I know like you, because if you're here still now after all this, then you are an expert that is interested in this stuff. And I think you're going to love the community. We have all sorts of free courses and some really cool stuff in there. And I'm hoping that you'll learn from this, right? And maybe execute it, you know, crazy thoughts. Anyway. Hope you have enjoyed this virtual event system. My hope is that you'll save this and remember it and use it when you're going to build your next system, because this is a game changer for you. And this will help you to build that Empire State Building because you have a great blueprint to start with. Now, one last little note here before I let you go. All of these, the E7S, are all in here, right? And we could go and color code these. We could go and grab the color coded box and we could go talk about where these overlap and we'd have a nice colorful picture here. And maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that in the future and just kind of go and overlay these colors so that you can kind of see how many systems are actually living and thriving in this little ecosystem, right? This coral reef of systems. And you'll see how many systems really live in that space. Guys, this is a virtual event system. I am super excited to have shared it with you today. I'd love to hear what you do with it, right? Go and use it for good. Right? And have some fun. So please feel free to comment, subscribe if you like the video, all those cool things wherever you're following, and then come join us at systemsforexperts.com and have some fun in the systems community with the rest of us. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed this huge system we built together today. But until next time, keep choreographing your business. And we'll see you next time on Backstage Choreo Live. Peace out.